Hey mamas, welcome to day 3 of the Feel Good Schedule Challenge. If you haven't already, I want you to go back and I want you to start with day 1 and day 2 because all of this stuff builds on top of itself. Basically what I'm trying to say is you have to do the day before you're going to know what the heck is going on today. Honestly, if I start this slideshow and you haven't done day 1 or day 2, you're going to be just so lost. So if you haven't done those yet, I want you to pause here, I want you to go back, and I want you to do day 1 and day 2. But here we are on day 3, and we'll go ahead and we'll get started with this slideshow here. Okay, so here we have this beautiful white screen, and this is probably how you felt when you started this challenge, kind of a blank canvas, and just excited to see how your time management skills were going to change a little bit. And then after yesterday, you probably started feeling a little bit more like this. Oh yeah, okay, I have a blog post I have to do, and then, oh, Facebook groups, yeah, I gotta do those too. Those are important. Periscope, Facebook ads, all right. Oh yeah, that email list. I gotta make sure I'm trying to figure out how to do that email list. And then, oh yeah, wait, I can't do that because I've got to go grocery shopping. And then there was that webinar. Yeah, that webinar. ABC time. I gotta make sure my kid knows their ABCs. Change diapers, of course. And then it started to probably go a little bit more like this and like this and like this and then this. And then all of a sudden, your mind looked like word vomit, right? Everything that you have to do kind of ended up looking like this. And I bet if you saw, after you saw my calendar yesterday, you were freaking out a tad. You were like, holy crap, how am I going to do that? And how am I going to get all of that organized? Well, that's what today is all about. That today we are going to take this crazy jumble that you're looking at right now and we're going to turn it into something that makes complete and utter sense and leaves you feeling complete, fulfilled, and like you're balanced and that you're giving time to yourself and your family and your business and that everything is starting to come together. But I want to start with a little analogy. I learned this in business school, and you may have heard it. They do, team building exercises or whatever. They do this a lot. But I want you to think about first how you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, probably a lot of you just thought, okay, well, I take a piece of bread and I put peanut butter on it. And I take another piece of bread and I put jelly on it and I put it together. Well, yeah, that's true, but what did you use to put the peanut butter on? Did you put was the bread sitting on the counter and did you scoop the peanut butter out with your fingers and smush it on the bread? That probably wouldn't be very efficient. It wouldn't feel very good on your fingers and you'd just have this huge mess, right? You'd have the crumbs on the counter, you'd have the peanut butter on one hand and the jelly on the other, or if you're really messy, you mix them all together and use the same hand. So you're like, no, I probably had a plate. Probably had a knife or a spoon, if not 1 or 2 knives or 2 spoons. But wait, where did the bread come from? Oh yeah, I had to get it out of the pantry. And the peanut butter and jelly, those were in the pantry in the fridge. And then I had to first decide that I wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I had to walk downstairs and walk into the kitchen, right? So something as seemingly simple as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, something that we all should know how to do, that we all think we know how to do perfectly, actually has a lot of steps to it. But because you've done those steps so many times, the getting the bread out of the pantry, the getting the plate out of the cupboard, you don't even think about them. You don't even think of them as steps. But the more specific you became, the easier it was to see exactly how you made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, so stick with me here because we're going to roll that analogy into making a schedule. So right now, you have no idea how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You have no idea how to take this crazy stuff that you're seeing on your screen and turn it into a nice, neat, pretty package that you would present to somebody on a plate. Okay? And that's what we're going to start to do today. By the end of day 3 and day 4, it's all going to come together. And then on day 5, we're going to actually schedule it out. So by the end of day 5, you are going to know exactly how to build out your days so that you feel good about everything that you're doing in your schedule. So let's move on to step number 1. Step number 1 is categorizing. Okay, we're going to take all that whole jumble that you just saw up there and we're going to categorize it. Now, this is really simple. This is just a business category, a household category, and a family category. I want you to go through and I want you to make the categories that make sense for you. I think it would also be important to have maybe a self-care category up in there, or a personal category, something that accounts for those types of things. But as you categorize, you'll start to see, okay, now we've got, the blog post goes under business, that landing page I need to do, I have to write the sales copy. Oh yeah, but my analytics, I need to make sure I know where people are coming from and what pages they're staying on my site. I have to create that new opt-in. Of course, I have to post in Facebook groups. How else am I going to get my name out there? Oh yeah, and all of this, I still have clients that I have to work with, right? So even though they're in the category, we don't really know where they fall in that category. Same thing with household. Yeah, I should probably feed my family. I should probably cook dinner once in a while. Maybe mop the floors, empty the dishwasher so we have clean, dishes. Laundry, everybody's got laundry to do, and grocery shopping, meal planning, running errands, okay? Again, same type of principle. Same thing with family. Maybe you want to take a little family trip. Maybe you want to get out of the house for the day on Saturday or the day on Sunday or something. Once in a while, you like to do the drop-in gym class where you can take your babies to run around and they do gymnastics and they just get their energy out. You also know you want to read to your kids every day and you want to make sure you're hitting the ABCs hard. And then this weekend, there's the birthday party for the kid down the street, and of course you need a date night, and then you've got to take care of yourself in there. So the first step is to categorize. We've got all of these things in their respective categories, but what do we do with that now? The next step is we prioritize, okay? So everything in this category, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through and we're going to prioritize it as essential. So now you can see under the essential category, you've got, okay, your blog posts are essential, of course, and you've got client work, that's definitely essential. Okay, this week laundry is also essential because you're not wearing 3-week-old granny panties or 3-year-old granny panties, hopefully not 3 weeks. And you got to grocery shop because you're eating mac and cheese, right? You've got a meal plan, you definitely have that birthday party you got to do, date night, and self-care time. So you can see where they went from your business, your family, and your household categories, and now you've picked from that and you've made out what is essential. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing over here in the preferred list. Okay, I'd like to cook dinner 5 nights every week. Right now, maybe that's not possible, but it's preferred, or it's not essential, but it's preferred. You can eat leftovers some nights, or you can go to that healthy takeout restaurant down the street, the oxymoron, healthy takeout, but still, you'd prefer to cook every night, but you know that sometimes that can go on the wayside a little bit. You also prefer to empty the dishwasher on time, but sometimes, if it has to, things can sit in the sink for a day, okay? You'd prefer to get your landing page done, but that's not as important as your blog posts. Same with writing your sales copy. You'd prefer to post in Facebook groups every day, but sometimes that just is going to get away from you, okay? Same with story time and same with ABCs, okay? And you're also going to create a least important list for the week. Okay, so this week, that family trip, it'd be great. It's not high on your priorities list. This birthday party over in Essentials, that has to happen this week. So maybe your day trip goes in your least important category, okay? Also, same with gymnastics class, same with your analytics. If you check your analytics this week versus next week, is it really going to make that much of a difference? Maybe if you're trying to isolate one specific blog post or something, it might be important, but really that's something that is not as essential as doing your client work and getting that out the door so you get paid. Okay. Also, running errands, sure, yeah, maybe you need a couple new spatulas for the kitchen or you need a couple new things around the house, but that's not as important as other things. And as you can see, just keep going through the category. Okay, and then the last step for today, this is a quick and easy day. I know when you saw that jumble, it looked like this was going to be a really hard day, but this is actually a pretty easy day. Okay, and so the last step, you're just going to assign the amount of time that these things take. For me, a blog post takes 2 hours. So I know that on my content creation days, I have 4 hours set aside on those days. So I know that on a Tuesday or a Thursday, I can get 2 blog posts written and scheduled out to go on my site. I know that I have 6 hours set aside for client work every week. I take 6 clients a month, and that lets me have 6 hours for the clients each week. Laundry, I've got me, my husband, his army clothes and his regular clothes, and our baby, and so I know that laundry takes me quite a while. It takes me 3 hours that week, right? So just go through, you can see as you go through each one of these what it adds up to. So if we add the essential category up, 27 hours of your week is dedicated specifically to essential tasks, okay? Do the same thing for each category. Preferred, okay? 36 hours of your week, even more than your essential, is taken up by your preferred things. Okay, and if we go over to least important, 26 hours of your least important things. Okay, so add that all together, and that takes up 89 hours, but you actually have 168 hours in a week. Okay, now we've got to think about sleeping, right? So if you sleep, if you're a lucky bastard and you sleep 8 hours a night, I am so jealous of you, but let's say you get 8 hours. So 8 times 7, that's 56 hours of sleep for the week. Add 56 to 89, whatever that comes out to, 145, whatever. That is still 23 hours less than what actually takes place in your week. And so that 23 hours right now is free time. Okay, I know that, again, conceptually this is hard to understand, but if you do the math and if you do the strategy and break it down, you can see that you really do have all the time for the things. Okay, and so that's what we're going to work on tomorrow. Is now we know that we legitimately, according to the numbers and according to the math, have the time. Now where do we put it? Where do we make the time, and where do we fit it in the schedule? And so that's some of the things that we're going to talk about tomorrow. So I hope that this kind of opened your eyes and showed you like, wow, okay, I really can do 2 blog posts, all my client work, get the laundry done, and do some of the things that I'd like to do, and even do some of the things that aren't as important to me, and I can still have time left over, and I can sleep 8 hours a night, if that ever is allowed in your house, which is not in mine, but you get what I'm saying, and I'm just trying to show you that this really, really is possible. It's possible to create something that you feel good about at the end of the day, that lets you work hard for your business and also work hard for your family. So I'm excited to get started on tomorrow, and I'll see you for day 4. Bye.